He's an associate professor in Gulf politics at Qatar University. Welcome to the programme. Luciano, before we talk a bit more about the international reaction, I just want your take on what does Iran do next, because Iranian foreign policy is your expertise.
Well, of course, Iran announced that they will take measures against that because, of course, it happened in Iranian territory. And, of course, it's a kind of embarrassment that they were taking care of Haniyeh during the inauguration of Pezeshkian, and this happened in front of their faces. So this is not something that they will let pass without doing something. The problem is we already know what happened a few months ago when Iran retaliated an action by Israel, and this tic-for-tac did finally work in a way that both Israel and Iran decided not to move forward on a bigger escalation. Now with the new president, we expect things might move in the similar way. It's true that Pezeshkian made a very strong statement supporting Palestine and Gaza during this conflict, during his inauguration, but this doesn't mean that they will engage, or that Pezeshkian will push the country to engage in a direct action as it happened a few months ago. We will see in the coming hours how it's going to happen, because Khamenei, the leader, made it also very clear statement about how Iran will respond to this action.
Indeed, the coming hours and days will be very significant. This point now on the fact that this was an assassination on foreign land and the assassination of a top negotiator, Hamas's top political figure. How do you view the international reaction? We've heard from Qatar, Russia, Iran, Yemen, Egypt, the UN. What's been said? What's not been said? What stood out for you in this international reaction?
I mean, one had expected that the statement would have been stronger. I mean, the fact that someone is killed in another territory that has nothing to do specifically with this conflict. I mean, Haniyeh is the leader, or was the leader of Hamas, and it was in a third country. But so far, we witnessed during all this conflict that diplomatic legation in third countries were not considered as a target by, or an illegitimate target by some countries like Israel or the United States. The United States was very clear that they will keep supporting Israel whatever it happens, even though they killed the leaders of Hezbollah in Beirut, expanding a little bit the conflict, and killing Haniyeh in Tehran. It means that Israel supposedly is allowed to do whatever they want, and no punishment will happen from the international community, the so-called international community. What had happened if it was in a different way? What if an Israeli diplomatic delegation was attacked in a third country? We will see, of course, different statements. And one thing that I think is interesting to notice is that the killing of Haniyeh did not happen in Qatar. It happened in Iran. But of course, Israel knew that targeting Haniyeh in Qatar would have been much more complicated to defend in front of United States, because Qatar is hosting one of the biggest, if not the biggest base of the United States abroad.
That's an important point. The US, they said that they were not aware, well, Antony Blinken, Secretary of State, said they were not aware or involved in the Hamas chief Haniyeh's killing. What do you make of that?
Well, difficult to believe that Israel decided to attack Haniyeh without informing them in advance. Every time there was a kind of this attack, Israel claimed that they informed United States in advance. Sometimes United States claimed that they knew it, but they had nothing to do. And this time it seems that they were not even aware. It seems that the United States, they don't want to engage in a bigger confrontation with Iran. This happened also when the exchange of fire between Israel and Iran. Both Iran and the United States made very clear that they were targeting, Iran and Israel were targeting each other, but Iran made sure that the United States understood that they were not targeting the United States, and the United States made clear that they had nothing to do with any Israeli attack against Iran, because they don't want to be dragged into this confrontation, into this war. So I assume that both Iran and the United States, they don't want to escalate because they don't want to engage directly. As far as it is contained between Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, and Iran, it seems that everybody is more happy about that. And it depends now on the political will of Israel and Iran and how much they can exert this pressure on each other, or they can play this game of bluffing or threatening the other with retaliation, how far this could go.
Luciano, thank you very much indeed. Luciano Zaccara speaking to us there from Madrid, Associate Professor in Gulf Politics at Qatar University. Thank you for your analysis.